Now, okay, so since we know like you inspired different people to do it, like what I guess inspired you to actually want to take that first step and like put out your own manga?
I think for me, it's always like my like, I guess like I say like anime in general. Like I feel like Dragon Ball, and I'd say my biggest inspirations would be like Dragon Ball, um, Yu-Gi-Oh for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's got me into drawing. Like my first like experience in just like drawing shit for fun was like drawing Yu-Gi-Oh OCs and fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah.
Right. And then just like the more like I just got into manga, like I was just like, like why not do it? I like storytelling, I like writing, and I like a lot of my family is like a science and writing family. So my brother and sister are really into like writing. My brother does like poetry and like writing, and my sister does like also does writing and poetry. But I like art, and I also like writing. So you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and like start. Yeah, like of course, like I'm not gonna be good at it, but like over time, I'm gonna learn. And just like seeing my like inspirations, just like do it, and I'm just like, okay, well, like they started somewhere, I'm gonna start somewhere, right? And it's like learning curve, right? Like I've like redone rune symbols so many times. Like I did it like originally like when I was like a kid, like on like computer paper with like a Sharpie, and then did it again when I was in high school, which is like only like maybe like 5 or 6 people have this version, which is like the oldest version of it.
Oh, that's sick.
I really like the way
So do
that
I.
looks.
Yeah, no, that's badass.
Cool.
And then I finished this, and I was like, I could do a better job, and I did it again, and then that's
Yo,
Okay,
that's badass. I love that.
I love to see the evolution of that. That's
Yeah.
fucking sick.
Oh, that's
Thank-
super cool.
We're gonna have to get some.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I'm not personally familiar with the story of Rune Symbol. Do you mind giving me kind of like a little like plot synopsis, or like tell me what it's about?
The general premise of the story, like without like rambling, is that there like originally there was a world where humans and angels lived together, and angels had a vast amount of spiritual energy. In my series, it's called Rua, and that's basically what allows you to use like magic and things like that. But humans had a lot of intellect. But of course, as you know, like differences between people lead to like conflict. So eventually, like these differences between these two species led to conflict, and that threatened to like erase both races. Because angels in my series, they're not like biblical angels; they're just like different type of humans, if that makes sense. Yeah. So like, the God of the universe decided to like split reality in half between the humans and the angels to like stop this like perpetual war. But the drawback to that, because in my series every spell has an equivalent drawback, even including the god. So the drawback to that was that his body was like ripped apart into 7 pieces for 100 years, which is called the rune symbols. So now the job of the angels was to guard and protect the rune symbols until the time had passed for the god to be reborn. But one of the angels, for reasons yet to be explained, realized the power that these rune symbols had, and realized that if he could get all of these rune symbols and put it inside of himself, he will become God, and then he can like create the reality that he wants. But after being discovered by the angels, he had no choice but to run away. So he ran away into the human world, right? And now his goal, but the angels, after like realizing that this angel, because this is like an archangel, he's a very powerful angel, realized that he could come back at any time and like come back stronger and actually succeed in his plan. So now what they decided to do was, because humans don't have a lot of Rua like the angels do, if they hide the rune symbols inside the souls of humans, it would be impossible to detect, because it wouldn't be radiating that immense amount of magical energy.
Right.
So by doing that, now it gives them time to try to track down the angel, the fallen angel, and like basically bring him to justice, kill him, whatever, before he can find the rune symbols. So now it's a matter of like, are the angels going to find the fallen angel on time? Is the fallen angel going to be able to get an army of humans and train them in magic and help them rebel against the angels? And then what about the humans who have the rune symbols in their soul? When they find out the power that they have, what are they going to do with it? So it's kind of like a multi-layered story.
Oh, that is sick.
That's really unique, actually. I like that a lot.
Oh,
Thank you.
Wow.
All right, you said you wouldn't do a good job of it, bro. That was great, man.
That's fantastic. Yeah. No, I like it because it almost feels like a race against time type thing too, and it adds a little bit of urgency to the story too, and that keeps me reading and watching stories too. Like I like that element. Yeah, it keeps you anticipating.
That and there's a creation story. I'm sorry, I love series, especially fantasy series. That like they give you the creation story, even if it's like dripped into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh
Good
yeah.
shit, man. I really like that. That's cool.
That was,
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, even that pitch, like there was some solid world building for it too. I'm like, fuck, okay, we're gonna have to pick this up.
Sure.
Oh man. Okay, well we're definitely I'm gonna have to find some artwork of it and like actually check out the artwork, but we'll put some artwork.
Oh yeah.
We'll make sure to include it because
Show it off.
I love the cover and like your art style is really nice. Like I do see some like kind of what's the word resemblance to like Bleach or inspiration more so to Bleach, but like I always lean towards that art style. It's very it's cool and I like it.
No, definitely. Kubo is one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to art. Like, I love him and like Mashima, the guy who does Fairy Tail. Like, both of their art styles, just like I don't know something about it. I just really love it. I don't know if it's like their composition skills. I don't know if it's the way they do the line art, the way they draw the characters. Something about it is captivating to me, and I just really try to like take as much as I can and just learn as much as I can from them.
Right, yeah. No, and like I think it makes sense to have like your authors that you get inspired from because depending on the art style, it can really elevate your story at the same time too. And I see examples of that with like, you know, comparing for example, One Piece and Bleach, they have extremely different art styles, but they also have very different stories they're wanting to tell. I think if you were to switch the art styles for both, the stories would not work in the slightest, you know?
I completely agree.
Oh, I like that a lot.